What's up, everybody? It's Brandon from Tattooing 101, and today I'm going to break down the tips and tricks to make your life easier if you're becoming a tattoo artist or if you are a tattoo artist. If you're new to this channel, make sure you like and subscribe down below if you want to stay up to date on all the new tattooing content we come up with each week. Every single video we come out with is going to help you either learn or new knowledge about tattooing as a whole, so you'll be able to greatly benefit from all of this content. So I hope to see you on the next video. So let's break down the little things that you could change in order to make your life easier as a tattoo artist. The first thing I could think of is making sure you have repetitive nature when you're tattooing. So anytime I set up my station, it's going to be exactly the same. Every time I clean up my station, it's going to be the same every single time I do it. So at this point, I could just do it without thinking. It just comes naturally to do everything. You know, I could set up my station with my eyes closed. You know, everything that I do whenever I'm tattooing, down to where I put my machines, where I have my sanitation equipment, everything's in the exact same place every single time. So I know exactly where everything is. That's why it can be super stressful if you're doing conventions, things like that, because it's completely different. Or if you're guest spotting, it takes a day or two to get in the motion of knowing where everything is with a new place. So I like to have everything set up exactly the same every single time, so I know exactly where everything is. That's one thing. Another thing is get used to cleaning everything at your station. You know, mopping the floors before you start your day and also afterwards. You know, some people like me, I like to mop my station after every single tattoo. I only do 1 or 2 tattoos a day because usually I'm doing bigger stuff or sleeve stuff like that. So I will make sure I do my trash after every single tattoo and also cleaning my station, mopping it, sterilizing it every single time. And also I sterilize my equipment at the end of the day. And when I come in the morning as well, I know I didn't tattoo after that period of time, but I want to make sure that everything's 100% clean whenever I start my first appointment for the day. So I do those things without even thinking. I get into the shop, mop the floor, make sure everything's clean, then start my day. All of these things are going to be hard to get into a rhythm when you first start out, but if you implement them right away, it'll be second nature. You won't have to think about doing it. You'll just do it without thinking. Now, when it comes to drawing and making designs, the biggest thing I could tell you is don't send the design before you do the tattoo. What people are going to do is price around. If you send the complete design, they're going to be like, oh, cool, he sent me the design already. Send it to another artist and they're going to be like, oh, I'll do it for this much, and send it to another artist and they're going to go with the best price, right? Because you already drew it. Even if you have a deposit down, the $20, $40 that you have for a deposit doesn't necessarily pay for the time that you did it. And if you don't have that tattoo, you have a no-show because they're not going to tell you, right? And then you just missed out on $200, $400, $800 just because you sent them that design. What I like to do so I know that everything's on the right track is I will send them my sketch drawings. So, you know, with my basic shapes, everything implemented in there so they can get a rough idea of how it's going to look without the complete drawing that they could just stencil it out and get it tattooed from a home artist, stuff like that. So that's the best advice when it comes to drawing, is don't give your full design out because, you know, especially in this period of time, you know, things are hard and they will take that design and run with it, and then you just missed out completely on a client. The other thing is, I know it's hard sometimes, but try not to draw everything the night before. I did this for years and it was really hard because I try to rush and implement things too fast. So I like to have a day a week to where I have time that I can just draw for my week beforehand and get everything set up and be able to think about my designs. You know, sometimes I drew a design right away the same day. That's why I like to set up appointments so I can have time to think about it. When I was a walk-in artist, you know, I'd tattoo something and then I'd go home, look at the picture and be like, wow, it would have been so cool if I added this or did this a little bit differently, or, you know, change this design, added this to it. So having time to think about these things are going to help out your artwork a ton. So on to drawing things. Another thing that would greatly save your time is if you have extra time being a tattoo artist, don't just sit around playing on your phone. Don't be playing video games. Don't be watching Netflix. When you are at a tattoo studio, that's how you make your money, and you're not making any money sitting around. So Be on your iPad drawing up flash designs. Draw up your own artwork so you could perfect exactly what you do, and that'll greatly help you get new clients and also be able to do tattoos. This is going to have things already drawn and ready to go that people can see and get tattooed right away, that you don't have to spend time drawing things like that. Any spare time that I have, I will be drawing up new designs, or if I have a dream about something crazy, you know, like I have this Darth Maul in the background right there. And it was funny, I had a cowboy hat I put on top of him. I actually made a tattoo on Darth Maul with a cowboy hat and called him Darth Brooks. So I thought that was funny because of the Garth Brooks country actor, and did a tattoo specifically on that. So any ideas that you have, make sure you sketch them down really quick. And that's a good way to come up with new tattoo designs. You know, sometimes it can be really hard to come up with unthought of things. And that's one thing that helps me out a ton. I keep a sketchbook around if I can't have my iPad, and I'll just write down ideas so I don't forget them, because life happens. As a human, you know, we're not necessarily best at remembering things. We're more like, you know, being able to do things. So with remembering things, I always write them down, keep a note on my phone, something like that, so I could keep up to date. And that's another trick that'll help you out a ton. The last little trick I have is, if you own your own tattoo studio, make sure you have the automatic messaging set up on Facebook. So when someone messages, you can have a breakdown of, hey, what are you looking to get? You know, how big in inches you're looking to get it, you know, any questions, would you like to tell us anything else? So before you even read their messages, they have everything spelled out, exactly what they need for you to do, for you to draw up. And it'll also say like the down deposit, all those things, so they know immediately. You're not wasting time going back and forth being like, oh, what are you looking to get, how big? All the things get super repetitive and can get really annoying after a while of doing it all the time. You know, you do it for 10 years and it gets really, really annoying to do. Which gets on to the next one of having your information on how to do aftercare printed out for them. Actually, in Tennessee, you need to have printouts legally through the health department to be able to hand to your clients afterwards. Now, all states don't have that, so have printouts for your clients so they know everything that they need to do. Now, by all means, you need to express it to them, let them know in detail, you know, I recommend using Lubriderm. It's an unscented lotion. Don't use Aquaphor, Vaseline, things like that, because it could clog your pores and not let it breathe how it needs to, blah, blah, blah. You know, the stuff I've said thousands and thousands of times to my clients, you know, stay out of pools, don't saturate it with water for long periods of time. All of those things need to be on your aftercare instructions. And, you know, other people, other artists have different views on that, but I've perfected the process of how my tattoos heal and what they heal correctly with. So that'll change depending on, you know, how you tattoo. But as a whole, make sure you print it out so that it is easy for them to look at. And I make sure I write on my aftercare instructions, do not listen to your friends, because they'll try to persuade them to do something different that their tattoo artist told them. But everyone tattoos differently. You know, trauma to the skin could be different, all of these things. And all you need is an unscented lotion to heal up your tattoos perfectly for the way that I tattoo. So make sure you let them know that, and I promise it'll help out your tattoos heal perfectly. And if you're doing everything correctly, and it'll save you time answering a ton of questions on aftercare, you know, when you go home and they message you all the time. So I hope this was able to help you out and make your life easier if you are a tattoo artist or an aspiring tattoo artist. If you're first starting out and having a hard time getting into learning how to tattoo, things like that, I recommend you check out our Linework Secrets. All you have to do is fill your name, email, and hit the link below, and then fill out that information, and we'll send it straight to your email for free. So check that out. It'll help you along your career. And also, I want to let everyone have an opportunity of what they want me to touch base on when it comes to videos. I know we've went over pretty much everything tattoo related and a ton of stuff on Linework, showing you how to do a whole tattoo on a live client. Tons of information out there. If you haven't checked them out, I recommend going through everything and reading them. But yeah, if you've been a subscriber for a while and you've watched all those videos, what do you want me to touch on next? You know, I'm going to do a video on showing you my tattoo studio, but I just want your input on the content that I can make for you guys next. So as always, I hope you have a wonderful day.